We're live. What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. We're on live on the Habit Finder page. My name's Paul Blanchard. I'm your host. It's a little breezy out here, but hopefully you can deal with it. Nikki, see you jumping on. Miriam, send me a quick chat if this breeze is just way too much. So I'm hoping it's not too bad in terms of noise. So I can kind of shield a little bit maybe if we need to. Anyway, hope everybody's doing awesome. Super excited to be with you today for our power session. Got a really important message that I think will serve a little. Okay, I can deal with a little. Hopefully you guys can deal with a little. And I realize it's a little breezy as you're jumping on. Hey Eric, how we doing? Eric follows me. He knows what's up. He's been around for a while. So not really a whole lot I can do about the breeze without really changing. Shielding shields your voice too. Oh, got it. Good call. So, but anyway, hopefully the breeze will cooperate. Eric alluded to something that those of you who haven't been following me for a while probably haven't figured out yet, but he has. It was almost exactly a year ago that I did a Facebook Live from this position, which for those of you who don't know where I'm at right now, I'm standing right here on the edge of glory. No, I'm just kidding. I'm on the edge of, I'm right on the ladder, if you can see it. Woo! Hang on to my phone. Rotate your phone. You can't turn your phone. Okay, I know. That wasn't on purpose. Let me make sure this thing's secure. Anyway, I'm right on the edge here, I'll hang on to it this way, of the silo here at my in-laws farm here in South Dakota. So I've been here in South Dakota for the last little while. Last couple of weeks, and we're here till the end of this week. And it was almost exactly a year ago that don't drop it, yeah, because that would end the live. Anyway, it was almost a year ago. I was up here, thought I was on a fishing boat. Sorry, I don't mean to make you woozy, but anyway, I'm just up here at the top of the silo here at the farm. I was up here almost exactly a year ago. Just beautiful perspective up here. You can get an idea of why I love it out here so much. So, hey Marilyn, what's going on? Diane's in the house. It's pretty bad. What's pretty bad? The breeze? The noise? Or just the perspective? Motion sickness, got it. Oh, you thought I was about to jump out of a plane. Nice. Okay, well, with the breeze and everything, let me make this brief. So the air is really strong. Okay, let me make this really brief because this is a short but sweet message, but an important one, I think. Other than being able to change your perspective like this, let me make this super quick because I know the breeze is probably distorting the volume a little bit. But with that said, the message today is to become a professional floor sander. And I'm a huge fan. My two greatest life coaches early on in my life were Zach Morris, was probably my first life coach, and the other was Mr. Miyagi. So getting an opportunity to be able to hang on, gotta turn off my Wi-Fi. It's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi over in the house, I think. Let me see if I can. And got it. Okay. So hopefully okay, good. Network connection's back. It was trying to connect to the Wi-Fi in the house, which is way down there. And we're way up here. So anyway, an opportunity to be able to consider ways to become a professional floor sander. Like I was saying, my two earliest memories of life coaches were Mr. Miyagi and Zach Morris. I learned tons about my life from those two people. But I love Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. We've all seen it, or a lot of us have seen it. I hope you've seen it, where Daniel wants to become great at karate. And so Mr. Miyagi starts having him wax the cars, starts having him sand the floors, starts having him paint the fences. And then at the height of his frustration, he goes to Mr. Miyagi and says, like, I'm not your damn servant. Like, I'm not your slave. You can't just keep having me do all this other stuff. And then he instantly flips it on him and shows him how the painting that he's been doing, sanding the floor, okay, Daniel's son, and waxing the cars has been in preparation for everything that he's going to do in karate, to be able to create the habits, to be able to create the muscle awareness awareness and memory and all those different things that he's doing to be able to set him up with the right foundation to be able to do this and to do it well. And in an instant goes from being so frustrated thinking he wasn't learning anything about karate to realizing that he had just built a foundation that could support what he wanted to learn in karate without even realizing it. And it's one of my favorite lessons for life in terms of all the little things that we do. There are so many things in our life that we don't feel like is benefiting where we're trying to go and what we're trying to create and what we're trying to accomplish, until all of a sudden it can get flipped 180 degrees when we open our eyes and realize that everything can apply to what we're trying to create in our life. Everything can apply to helping us get better. We just need to look around and pay attention and realize that the movement of painting the fences in our lives and of waxing the cars and of sanding the floors and all these different things to be able to get an opportunity to understand are building the foundation, building the muscle, building the endurance, building the foundational pieces that we want to have to be able to succeed. I mean, this is one of the key principles that Mandino taught us in scroll number 1 when he said the most important but least sexy thing in success and personal development, when he said that the principles in the greatest salesman in the world, the 10 scrolls, the wisdom of the ages, what allowed Pathros to become the wealthiest man on earth, and then after him, Hafid to become the wealthiest man on earth, these secrets are all about preventing failure, which is what a foundation does. A foundation prevents the failure of the structure you're building on top of it, okay? So being able to appreciate these things, being able to appreciate all the things in our lives, okay, all the things that we do that we may not see a connection to the greater good, we may not see the connection it has to our dreams, those are the very things you want to pay extra attention to. What is it about the way I clean my room and make my bed? What is it about my nutrition? What is it about my exercise? What is it about the way I read or the way I play with my kids or what is it about the way I drive? That's one I need to work on. A little bit of road rage here. That has to do with my bigger dreams, with what might feel like sanding the floor, what might feel like painting the fence or waxing the cars, and is actually just nuggets of gold and amazing insight. I mean, we've all heard the saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. But I think it's deeper than that. It's not just that, but it's the way and the why that you do one thing that can teach you so much about the way and the why you do other things. I'm not a big fan of categorical sayings like the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, because I think that, you know, the brain itself has its own designs to be able to segment and compartmentalize things, which can create a lot of challenges in the long run. We can talk about that in another power session. But in being able to understand that the way you do a lot of things can teach you so much about the way you're trying to do the thing, whatever that is, whether it's trying to make more money, create a successful business, have a deeper, thriving, better relationship, greater health and vitality, whatever it is, being able to focus on the sand the floor, the waxing the cars, and the painting the fences of your life will teach you more than some of the greatest direct and acute strategies that you're trying to deploy to create success and create more money. Pay attention to the foundational things. Don't take them for granted. Because it doesn't matter how high you want to build something. If you don't take care of the foundation, you might as well be playing the game Jenga. And remember, the point of Jenga is not to build the highest tower. It's to build the highest tower before it falls. You are anticipating, you are counting on it falling. It is inevitable that it will fall eventually because there's no foundation. And because you're taking parts of the building to try and build it higher rather than adding to it, rather than embracing and using what you already have to have your talents, your abilities, your genius added upon because of the way you're embracing it, the way you're using it. I can't think of a better way to embrace these things, to use the gifts you have, than to look for the opportunities to sand the floor, paint the fence, and wax the car, to take things to a whole nother level in your learning. And rather than seeing all these auxiliary things in your life as stuff you need to get done so that you can focus on the real stuff you need to get through and endure just to figure it out, and really taking charge and learning just as much from those little things, those foundational things, as you do from the strategic, tactical, more specific things, would be a massive shift to be able to create tremendous success. So thanks so much for joining us today on the power session. I hope you get an opportunity to take a little bit closer look at the foundational elements of your life. What are the things that you do on a daily basis that are painting the fence, sanding the floor, waxing the car, that feel insignificant, that you could actually learn a lot more about yourself and actually teach yourself by being more intentional with them about how you could show up with the more important things if you're able to do that, okay? So appreciate you guys being here. Those of you just jumping on, wondering where I'm at, I'm up on top of the silo here at the farm. Yeah, it's a pretty sketchy little ladder here. So sorry for not warning again. I know a couple people are getting a little motion sick out here with all this, but anyway, just cool opportunity to get up here in celebration of when I did a live up here almost exactly a year ago. So hopefully some of the words came through clearly without the wind. I realize it's pretty breezy out here, but hopefully you could still hear and get through this. So yeah, everything, every little thing, being able to focus on those small and little things, and not just for them themselves, but the way they're going to impact your unconscious mind with the bigger things is important. If you're sitting there, you know, like washing dishes and you're just like, oh, I'll get to them eventually. What else are you teaching your brain to get to eventually in your life? And what a great opportunity to dive into something as simple as washing the dishes or doing the laundry or going to the gym for 15 minutes or whatever, keeping it super simple. Those are all waxing the car, sanding the floor, and painting the fence kind of ideas. So yeah, I'm going to make my way down. I'm probably not going to do that on live, you know, just because that's, you know, you guys don't need to see that if this ladder fails. I'm just kidding. This is good, tough South Dakota farm construction and engineering here. So anyway, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for jumping on the power session again. Short and sweet, but an opportunity. Spend some time today. And this is what I want you to do, okay? I want you to take 15 minutes. Set a timer on your phone, take 15 minutes, and write down the sand the floor, waxing the car, and painting the fence things in your life. The things you do on a daily basis that you could look at a little bit more intentionally, that you could bring a little bit different energy to, a little bit level of awareness to be able to build on how you show up and the energy you show up with for those little things, and see if it doesn't naturally make a tremendous impact on the foundation of your bigger things, okay? Of the dreams that you're after and what you're trying to create. And if those of you who have been trying to create your dreams and are still on that verge, having a tough time, you know, I'm working on it, and which really means I'm just thinking about it a lot more, and really looking to break through, the greatest breakthrough you can have is to not break through at all. I mean, think about it. To break, why would anyone want to break something? And the through part is an illusion. There's nothing for you to break through. There are things for you to become aware of. There are things for you to be more intentional about. And I can't think of a better place to start for being more aware and more intentional than being able to measure the way you think. So if you haven't been to habitfinder.com for the free assessment, please go there now and then take 15 minutes and write down the things in your life that are sand the floor, paint the fence, wax the car kind of stuff, and start to pour into a few of them just a little bit more intentionally. I'm not saying you have to do everything at peak awareness and peak intentionality, but pick a couple of the little things, especially if you're struggling with some of the bigger things you're trying to be more intentional about, and shore up that foundation a little bit so you can build a sustainable life rather than play Jenga with your dreams. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to make my way down here again, just up here, way up here on this silo here at the farm. But thanks for your time. This is my last power session here in South Dakota. We're headed home this Sunday. It's been an amazing, relaxing, wonderful time here. I'm really glad I got an opportunity to share it with all of you for the last 2 power sessions. And we'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye-bye.